Hi, you're listening to Phil Di Bella, and this is Flashcast by PDB. Today I'm going to talk about the purpose of government. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's local, state or federal here in Australia. I want to explore the purpose of government and their roles and responsibilities. And then this is not going to be a bagging of the government. I might use some examples throughout it, but at the end of it, you can make up your own mind whether a local, state or federal government is doing a good job or not doing a good job. But with a federal election looming and no time more important than ever, with what we've been through with COVID and the whole situation and what it means moving to the next realm is going to be even more important. So whatever decisions are made today will affect people for a lifetime. And people need to really be aware of that, because I'll start with my pet hate. And my pet hate is that we don't want governments at any level making decisions for 3 and 4 year terms that they're in government that are going to affect people for a lifetime. So that's something I want to plant from the start, is that politicians should not be making decisions for their 3 and 4 year terms that are going to affect people for a lifetime. There needs to be integrity, there needs to be accountability, something that's very topical. But that's what I want to state from the onset, is that, and I'm going to keep saying it, people shouldn't be making decisions for 3 and 4 year terms that will last a lifetime. And secondly, if we don't have integrity and accountability in government, then the system is broken, and one could argue that it is. But let's talk about the fundamentals of what a purpose of a government is and what the responsibilities are. And that way you can make up your own mind, because we hear a lot about comments, we hear a lot of opinions, but we don't hear a lot about what are their functions and responsibilities. What is the purpose of government, so that we can get some clarity. Unfortunately, it's not something they teach at school enough. I'm seeing that with my 14-year-old daughter and 12-year-old boy, and I constantly ask them what's topical, what's not. Are they talking about what's happening with elections and politicians and responsibility, so that we're priming the youth when they get to voting age to be able to make informed decisions. And that's the key, to make informed decisions, not persuaded decisions, which is point 2. So point 1 is obviously that we don't want 3 and 4 year governing terms that last a lifetime. We want integrity and accountability in those decisions. And point 2 is that you're making informed decisions, not persuaded decisions. And really understand that. We want people in positions to make informed decisions, not persuasion as a tactic. So in short, what is government? Well, government, basic functions is to provide leadership, it's to maintain order, and to provide public services, to provide national security, to provide economic security, and to provide assistance where needed. And that's the key, where needed. Very, very important that we understand that, that the government, it's an institution, and it's an institution with leaders that are elected by the public. Remember that. It's an institution with leaders that are elected by the public. It's at local, state and federal level. And their functions are to provide leadership. Their functions are to maintain order, to provide public services, provide national security, provide economic security, and provide economic assistance where required. Not giving out cash handouts, which they do, splash and cash for votes and all the rest of it. No, it's to give economic assistance where it is needed. Disability services in times obviously like COVID, where people have lost jobs, etc., etc. If we break that down to really say, well, what are the main purposes of government? It's to maintain social order, provide public services, and provide security and defence. If you want to go really, really simplistic, social order, public service, security and defence. But if you look at the functions that sit underneath it, it's leadership, it's maintaining order, public services, national security, and economic assistance. Very important for people to understand. You can make up your mind whether your local government, your state government and your federal government do that, but that is the template to follow. So if you wanted to really have an informed discussion and look at things, and you would say, well, how does my, local, state or federal government go in these concepts? Get a piece of paper and a pen. How are they in providing leadership? How are they being in maintaining order? And obviously applicable to their portfolio. So if you're judging state politics, you've got to understand what their jurisdiction is. If you're judging local politics, you've got to understand what their jurisdiction is. I find a lot of people get things mixed up, and they don't actually know what sits in their local government versus what sits in a state government, what sits in a federal government. So for an example, federal government is not responsible for the schooling. That's state government. Federal government is not responsible for local public transport. That's local government and a lot of state government for their infrastructure. So it's really understanding what projects sit where and how it all works. Because if you don't, well, then you can't make an informed decision on who's performing or not performing. So the short of it, which you're going to find the theme here, is that you need to be part of the change you want to see, as Gandhi says. So if government's doing well, you need to understand why they're doing well in an informed and rational way. If government is not doing well, you need to also understand in an informed and rational way why they are not. And these templates and things we're discussing in this flashcast should help you make those decisions. But piece of paper and pen never lies. How well is government doing at any level around providing leadership, maintaining order, public services, national security, and economic assistance? I'll use local government as an example. Through COVID, our Lord Mayor has been fantastic doing what they can do with assistance, such as cafes and restaurants are doing it tough. He froze outdoor dining permits, trying to get people back into the CBD. They're giving free meters in a city, no parking meters costs, so it's free charges. So they're doing what they can at their level. They gave free public transport for a period of time. State government gave some abatement on payroll tax. Federal government obviously handed out $750 to people. For some industries, that was great. For some, it was an overkill. But these are just examples of how they gave economic assistance. And of course, economic security is around protecting the money of Australia, which one would argue federally can be done a lot better, such as taxing people that take money out of this country and shipping it offshore, making sure that all the international companies are paying the appropriate amounts of tax. These are areas that we could all be doing better at. Never has it been more important around national security with what's going on around the world in Russia, with China. Obviously making sure that we have the right strategies in place there. What are we getting involved in? What are we not getting involved? These are also functions and purposes of government that we need to understand and, again, be in a position to make informed decisions. Now, moving on to responsibilities and duties, well, let's break it down. Obviously, responsibilities and duties of government for people at all levels and to different jurisdictions, but to all levels, is to maintain law and order, to protect lives and properties, to promote democracy and social justice, which is something we haven't seen a lot of at the moment, as you can imagine. And one of my things talking about this pro-choice is that a lot of the democratic process has been taken out through COVID by premiers dictating to people and putting draconian laws in place and all the rest of it. Now, yeah, that's my opinion, but those opinions are based on quantifiable data. But again, this is not what this is about. It's using it as an example. It's providing social welfare services. It's about providing economic development. It's about providing human rights and protecting human rights, again, something we haven't seen a lot of, and maintaining external relations. So if we look at the responsibilities and duties of government at all level, and we want to judge if a government is doing well or not in an informed manner, then this is a great way to start. Piece of paper and a pen and write down the following. Maintenance of law and order, protection of lives and properties, promote democracy and social justice, the provision of social welfare services, promotion of economic development and protection of human rights, and maintenance of external relations. Now, if we wrote those down, right, those 8 items down, those 8 summary responsibilities and duties of a government to its people, and you can put a tick or a cross next to each one, or maybe a half mark. But if you start to do that and put a tick, you can put what have they done really well and why. If you've got a half mark, well, then why? If you've got a cross, then why? Now, this is a very simple template for you to be able to sit there and go, has my local government done its job? Has my state government done its job? And has my federal government done its job? So in closing, next time you hear me or see me on a social media channel or on media carry on about something, I can assure you that I'm following this template. I'm looking at my state, my local, my state and my federal government, and I don't care what party they serve. I don't care who they are as people. What I'm purely judging them on, rightly, wrongly, positively or negatively, is around these things. I'm judging them on their purpose and I'm judging them on how they go about their responsibility and duty. So something to think about is when somebody's out there pushing agendas or pushing their message, is it an informed decision or has it been convoluted by elsewhere? I can assure you that I, to my best endeavours, go about it being as an informed decision as possible. And this is some of the system and some of the, this is the template that I actually follow. I hope you found that useful. Until next time, you've been listening to Phil Di Bella, and this is Flashcast by PDB. Hi, this is Phil DeBella, and if you don't know already, in 2022 May, I'll be putting the dancing shoes on with my daughter Annika for Dancing CEOs Queensland. She can dance and I can't, but the journey's going to be fun. And we're doing it all for a great cause. So Dancing CEOs has been around for a long time here in Brisbane. It's an amazing organisation and charity event. They raised over $500,000 this year, and I look forward to it in 2022. If you can give $5, $500, $5,000, whatever you can would be great to support a great cause. It goes to Women's Legal Services Queensland, who make sure that women and children that are affected by domestic violence are looked after. So a great cause, 100% tax deducted, no admin fees, which is something that we love about it. 100% of your donation goes to helping those that need it. So support Annika, support myself, and support Dancing CEOs. The link is provided below. Please give what you can.